Hello Internet, Andrew Huang here again for LPX Tech, and welcome to my Indiegogo campaign promotion video for the universal strap mounts and custom designed bands for the Samsung Gear S as well as future smartwatches. Now, I started my YouTube channel back in September of 2014, and the channel pretty much started off as a simple gaming channel. But after making several gaming videos, I decided to branch out and start doing technology reviews. And the first major piece of tech that I reviewed was my Samsung Gear S device. And with that, many of my videos following suit focused mainly around the Samsung Gear S. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when they first announced the Gear S, they also announced that they would be coming out with custom bands such as diesel leather bangles as well as Swarovski crystal bangles. Now, I was personally very excited for the diesel bangles, especially the white and black ones, and I was waiting very patiently for them. But Christmas came and went, the New Year came and went, spring came and went, and no news. And during those months, I also searched high and low throughout the web to see if there was a third-party manufacturer for those bands. And all I found were pretty much just different color variations of the band that comes with it initially, and they were selling for a pretty penny. But around April, I pretty much got fed up and began to think about designing my own bands. So I started researching different leather materials and different bangles that already existed and see if I can modify them, as well as seeing if I can modify the current band to house a different type of band on it. And about a few weeks after I started this process, I was approached by one of my subscribers telling me that there was a designer in Korea who were selling metal straps for the Gear S. And as soon as I heard about that, I pretty much asked the designer if he had a website that I could promote for him so he can go ahead and get the funds he needed to produce the other designs. So I spent the better part of the last month and a half or so pretty much selling these bands for him on a global scale. Now, while those have been selling well, they're still not the leather bands that I personally wanted when I first started this endeavor. So I've recently gone back to the drawing board, back to my original design of trying to make a universal strap mount to be adaptable with any metal straps or leather straps. Now, those straps were pretty much a variation of the current one. I used different materials than the current plastic one and started to modify them, see what shape worked the best for what I needed it to do. Now, I made several designs, but I decided to go ahead and see if I can mass produce the universal 22mm mount. And with this mount attached to your Gear S, you can go ahead and shop for any 22mm strap that you want, whether it's leather, ceramic, stainless steel, whichever. You can go ahead and adapt it to your Gear S band. But I'm still continuing to push forward my goal of getting the leather bangle straps available for the Gear S to the mass market, so I'm still playing around with those. But let's get down to business. Why am I here making this video for you guys? Well, pretty much I'm here to ask for your help. I've already gone around and met with several local manufacturers and custom manufacturers to see if I can go ahead and mass produce these mounts, as well as prototype my other mounts so I can start experimenting with the leather and metal straps. And when I say that, I mean full metal and full leather straps. But to get this entire process started is quite the expensive endeavor. Just getting the machine mold to just mass produce these bands is going to cost well over $10,000. I know, I didn't think it was that expensive either, but nonetheless it is. But this little 3D printed prototype as well as the other ones I ordered weren't cheap as well. But how do I propose to cover these costs as well as the cost to start mass producing these things? Well, I'm leaving that in your hands. I have an initial goal to begin selling these universal strap mounts for $20 in both black and white. So at the 15,000 goal mark, we're going to be able to produce the actual metal mold for these mounts, get the different prototypes built for the different strap mounts, with the remaining funds covering the cost of producing the actual black and white mounts as well as shipping to you guys. And yes, what I mean by that is shipping will be included in the $20 price. Now, what about my earlier statement about different custom bands such as the leather bangles as well as for other devices? Well, that's pretty much what the stretch goals are for. So if I'm able to reach $20,000, I'm going to go ahead and begin production of other variations of the colors such as blue, red, green, pink, orange, and etc. And if I can reach $30,000, I've already pre-negotiated prices with manufacturers in China to get different 22mm straps for the Gear S mount. They would obviously be the leather, metal, and even the ceramic bands I've been talking about. Pretty much with those additional options, people shopping for these bands on my eBay, Amazon, or my personal website will have a variety of options to choose from, also at good prices. Now, I do have two more ambitious stretch goals in mind. If I could reach the $50,000 mark, I will pretty much have all the resources I need to start mass producing the leather bangles, as well as negotiating with different factories, whether domestically or abroad, to get these mass produced. And at the same time, with all the orders that are going to come with $50,000 in sales, I'm going to need to hire extra help. And that level of funding will give me the ability to go ahead and hire someone to help me out. And my final ambitious stretch goal of $100,000 plus, so anything over $100,000, all the remaining funds will go into bringing on contracted or hired designers to help me out and start designing more bands and different type of straps, not only for the Gear S, but the other smartwatches out there and future smartwatches. My ultimate goal is to be able to offer you guys a variety of different designs, materials, and customization at an affordable price. I don't want to be like Apple or Motorola charging you $100, even $250 for a standard stainless steel band. You've already spent enough money getting the watch itself. You shouldn't have to give your arm and a leg to get a design that you want. Also guys, at that $100,000 mark, I will also have the ability to start selling proprietary goods. So I can actually start selling the Gear S on my own, but instead of just selling the regular Gear S, I would pretty much sell it with the band that you want. So pretty much when you order from me, it would become a one-stop shop for any of your smartwatch needs. Now guys, I know that this is pretty much an ambitious goal and there's going to be some risks involved. So what happens if I don't raise enough money? If we can at least raise enough money to get the metal mold made, I do have a backer who's pretty much already agreed to give me the funds in order to put the black and white universal strap mounts into production. And then after they're made, I will cover the shipping costs for you guys. And a couple final details that you should know is that the campaign does end on July 15th. And from that day, or earlier, if we do get the funds a lot earlier than we hope, the molds will be created and the production of the mounts will start. And the manufacturer pretty much quoted me back that the process will take about 4 to 6 weeks. So obviously, the earlier we start, the better. But guys, I hope you're very excited. I'm sort of scared because this is a completely new territory for me. But hopefully with you and the rest of the community's support, we'll get this off the ground. And if you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please feel free to message me in the comment section down below if you're on the YouTube page. And if you're on the Indiegogo campaign page, you can go ahead and message me through there or just email me at lpxstudios2013@gmail.com. And again, for those of you in the YouTubeverse, the link to the Indiegogo campaign page will be in the description box below. Thank you very much for watching guys, and hopefully you guys will be seeing my update video for this campaign very soon. Until then, I'll see you guys next time.